I love to do it, but sometimes it can be very frustrating, right? Simple tasks become enormous ones if you do not have the right tools. And any gardener, whether you're amateur or pro, will tell you that a good shovel is going to be an essential tool. But the one we're presenting to you now has absolutely revolutionized this one tool and made it into so much more. And it is now made even better. It's $13.75 to bring home. It's the Spearhead long-handled, and that's the improvement, gardening shovel and spade. And Julian Matthew brings it to us. He is the actual son of the inventor. And it's such a simple thing that now has been completely transformed so that it can cut through most of what caused a lot of us to simply stop in our tracks and go, well, I'm going to need a pro. Am I right?
That's right.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. This was invented by my 85-year-old dad when he was 85 years old. He's 92 now. And he couldn't dig anymore. He has 2 artificial knees, 2 artificial hips. He's had them replaced twice. And he was coming.
Oh, there's Pop.
There he is.
Yay.
There.
That's fantastic.
And he said, you know, I just can't dig anymore. I need to do something better, make something better.
Right.
And the way he explained it, he said, you know, I need to take away from a regular shovel what's preventing it from going into the ground. Everybody has one of these round point shovels. Yep. This is the typical shovel that you have in your yard. This is the Spearhead Spade. As you can see, the shape is shaped like a spear, right? It starts out very pointed, and then it wedges, and then it slices its way into the ground. So the blade is made extra hard and extra thick to be able to handle the hardest conditions that you have, whether it's rocky soil, whether it's clay, whether it's the roots, or transplanting things. Okay. And in addition, like I said, all these edges are beveled. And when you first get it, you're going to look at it and it doesn't say, look that sharp. And it's because what we do is we coat it after sharpening. So you have to use it a few times to reveal the edge. The more you use it, the sharper it will be. So I'm going to show you a situation here where you're using a regular shovel, and these are a simulated root environment here. These are a bunch of strings that I've strung up, and you're going to see what you typically do. I'm going to stand on this shovel, and I'm going to put my full weight. And you're jumping up and down, and nothing is happening, right? Nothing is happening down there. It's because the width of the blade is too wide, and you're concentrating your weight on a large surface.
Spreading it out.
With this, because it's so narrow, it's going to push the roots apart, and then it's going to slice them. And as you can see, I'm not even going to stand on this, right?
All right.
It's just, and I'm not even going to use my weight. I'm just going to use my arms.
Okay, which you did.
So it's just slicing and dicing. No big deal.
Small modification. Well, it's a huge deal, I would argue.
It's a huge deal.
Hey, did I mention, by the way, you see the stars on your screen? That always means customer top rated, but Julie and I actually looked this up. It's not just customer top rated. Every review on this shovel is 5 stars. Some of the reviews come from, I've read your reviews and you've said, I've been shopping for 15 years. I've never made a review online of anything, but they feel so strongly about how much easier this has made work in the garden that they've come back to QVC and they've given it 5-star reviews. That's huge.
And 100% of the people would recommend it to a friend.
Of course, well, of course. And you've made it even better now because the handle itself is longer. How is that an improvement, Julian?
Yes. The reason that you want a long-handled product versus the shorter-handled one that we've been selling here for a while is because you need the leverage. You need the leverage to get bigger plants out, larger rocks, larger things that you're working on. Or you need to dig a deeper hole and you need to get down there and you need the reach.
Right.
Or you're a taller person and you don't want to bend over quite as much. You can stand more upright. And the other thing is, it's for people that have bad backs, bad knees, bad whatever. You need the leverage to make it the most powerful tool that you can have. This is what the longer version gives you.
And you were presenting it with Dan Hughes earlier, and you were talking about like different size people who could use it. And Dan said, well, what if you're like a 99-pound woman? And you said that would basically give her the strength of someone twice her size.
It does. And that has to do with the length of it, and it has to do with the fact that you're concentrating all your weight on a single point, and then you're wedging and slicing. Just like a wedge splits wood, this splits the ground, or whatever it's going in between. I'm going to show you a situation here where we have 2 layers of weed block. Normally, you would only put one of these layers down, but I'm trying to make it harder on myself here.
Thank you for that.
And to prove it to you that this is so easy, I'm not even going to stand on this. With a regular shovel, you couldn't go through this because it's too wide.
Yeah.
I'm going to use one hand, and I'm going to go through this with no weight. And
wait until they come out to you again, because see how he's doing it with one hand. Do it again.
One hand. And we're going through this stuff with no weight.
This has never been on 4 Easy Pays before. It is $13.75 to bring home. And my producer says a lot of you are picking up more than one. I suspect it's because you've already tried it before, maybe in the shorter version, or maybe you're looking at this and you're going, well, now I can get hubby to work as well, because you can, multiple people in the family, each of you can have them and use them. All right, what are we doing now?
Now, we're going to show, here we have, on the B-roll here, we have a situation where we have a lot of rocky soil. And you can understand, a lot of these times, these rocks are buried, you can't even see them.
Yeah.
But you can see these rocks. You can see how this is digging in very rocky conditions.
Okay, that is a root nightmare, that one. Look at that.
The ornamental grass. You guys know how many roots there are in an ornamental grass, how tough it is to do this. Most people just give up. You can see how this was able to cut around and pull that out all in one pack.
I'm from Texas too, where that clay soil, that wet and that thick soil just makes most people go, well, we're just not going to do anything with it. Now you can.
Yes. So here's the rocky soil situation. And I'm going to tell you why this works as well as it does. It's because of these primary angles that are right here. As you hit the rocks, what it does is it glances off the rocks. It goes in between the rocks. I'm not even going to try to push through right now, but I'm just showing you how that angle forces the blade in one direction.
So it finds the path of least resistance.
Exactly. So we're not even putting our weight on this.
Not even doing anything.
We're not even putting our weight on this. If you were to put your weight on this, it'd be like a piece of cake.
Actually, what your reviewers say, Julian, is that it's like a hot knife through butter.
Yes,
right?
That's one of the most common
through
reviews.
Through rocky soil, through root-dense soil, through clay as well. If you've got areas in your garden that you haven't even tackled because you know it's going to be a nightmare with a traditional shovel, then I want to introduce you to this right here. The entire construction of it, not just the spearhead itself, is meant to last for years and years.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Like I said, the blade is extra hard and extra thick. You hear it ringing? That's because it's so hard that you cannot sharpen it with a regular file. You have to use a grinding wheel or a diamond stone to resharpen this. You have a nice shape to the back of it that makes it strong, the cup shape. Larger footrests here make it comfortable so that you can use you can dig with your flip-flops on or your slippers versus a regular shovel. You couldn't do that because it wouldn't be comfortable.
Look at that review. This spade commands a review. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I know they cycle through really quick. This commands a review. This is the most amazing gardening tool I've ever used. People are crazy for this. Sorry, I interrupted you, but that was a good one.
We've made the socket longer than normal. And the reason we've made the socket longer than normal, we don't want you breaking handles. The first thing that goes on a shovel is you break the handle. We don't want you breaking these. So what we made the socket 3 to 4 inches longer than normal and double riveting it. So the area most prone to be broken is not going to break. Most sockets end right here, and that's why they break there. This will not break there. Now, this is called a pull-truded fiberglass. Very special kind of fiberglass designed to bend without breaking. It's like what the pole vaulters use. And inside this fiberglass, there's a northern ash hardwood core. It's kind of hard to see here, but right there, you see that hardwood? That goes up into here. So you have double reinforcement here, triple reinforcement here, so that handle is not going to break. In addition to that, we have these nice comfort grips here that make it comfortable to be out there and digging. So, but the whole point of the product, it's about making it easy.
Ease of use.
If you're a woman that has a hard time doing things, you have to ask for help. You no longer have to ask for help.
And that's why it's in my show, baby, because it's empowering. It's your new empowerment tool. If you've got chores to do out in the garden, you've got clearing out to do, and you know where that frustrating area is, or you're transplanting, or you're segmenting so that you can move plants in other areas. If it's a really healthy plant, then it's got the roots that go down deep, and that means you've got to carve through it. Your traditional shovel, that old school shovel, cannot do it the way that it is meant to do unless you can provide the force behind it. And if you can't provide the force behind it, either because you're petite and your stature says so, or because of hip, knee, back issues. I know that we've had several callers call in and say, I'm back to doing what I love because now I have the tool that enables me to do so. And that's one of the reasons why I love it and why it's in our show today.
Again, we're going to show you why it works so well and why you're jumping up and down on your shovel and you don't have to jump up and down anymore. See how this...
He's standing on it.
I'm putting my full weight on this and there's nothing that's happening, right? Nothing. So you can understand when you're jumping up and down, nothing's happening.
And yet it's very reassuring because I thought it was just because I wasn't strong enough, right?
No, it's because this magnifies all your digging power. See how easily, I'm not even trying. Not even trying.
And an 85-year-old man finally invented this. It's incredible to me. What a great American success story this is, right? Instead of just throwing up your hands and giving up, you go, you know what, there's got to be a better way. The old school version has been around for centuries. This is new and it is better. And for the first time ever, listen, $14.
And to prove you that it's better, we actually got a utility patent. Now, the difference between, the reason it's a utility patent is because it's functionally better. It's very hard to get the utility patent, and we got it. Now, a lot of people, shovels are thousands of years old.
Right.
You wouldn't think that you could improve on a shovel, but my 85-year-old dad did.
Smart guys can, I tell you what. M49715 is the item number. The weather, at least up here, I know is finally such that we're getting outside, we're enjoying the outdoors, we're landscaping, we're gardening. This can be an expensive activity if you're hiring other people to do it. For the expense that you are incurring for this shovel, if it saves you the frustration of having to hire somebody for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to do some of that heavy lifting because you can now do it yourself, then that is money well spent. Less than $14 to bring home.
We have Father's Day coming up.
Yep.
This is a perfect
That's
Father's
a great
Day
idea.
gift.
That's great. Julian, thank you so much for bringing it to us. First time
Thank
presenting
you.
it. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad it's here. And remember, you can always visit QVC.com and search two big words today.